she continued to
U.S. Navy.
She continuously like pushed her opinions on Stevie. Like when Stevie got a boyfriend, she told Stevie that she was supposed to have sex with her boyfriend, and Stevie, she really didn't want to, but Carla, she was like continuously pressuring her to do it, and she thought it was unusual that Stevie didn't want to have sex with her boyfriend, and yeah.
No, that's all good stuff. So you're saying like Stevie's friend Carla plays this role as a sub-oppressor and her mom sometimes. And for me as a teacher, that felt a little bit like, I got a little nervous when people were just like, Carla, she's such a sub-oppressor. But what was Carla, like what was the context that Carla was operating in that would cause her to act the way she did? Right? Can you talk on that a little bit maybe? Or Loren, if you're ready to jump in, like, what was the context that Carla lived in? Or actually, more importantly, or not more importantly, but let's talk about the mom, right? The mom wants her to lighten her skin, right? And so in that way, this mom is sort of operating as a sub-oppressor. But what were the mom's experiences? What was the mom's context that she felt like that was important for her daughter?
Well, her mom was like more misguided. It's not that she didn't care about her. It was more misguided attempts. It was like, because she was a banker, and like the lady, I think another lady that was white, that was under her, got moved above her because of her skin color. And she's like, well, you need to be lighter. You need this because you can't go anywhere in life without being light-skinned or something like that. And that's what she was trying to pressure her for her like better good, but it was misguided.
So yeah, you're excellent. So how would we talk about this context? What was the context that she was operating in? Okay, yeah, she was submerged, but so she's submerged in like a context where there's racism and oppression going on, right? And so she's acting in like you say, trying to defend the interests of and support her daughter.
But then it becomes an internalized racism because you start actually believing that you have to have light skin, and Kavina was talking about how you need to have your hair permed and things like that. So it becomes an internalized hatred of what you are and wanting to be something else, and then putting that on to, like, as what mom does to your daughter.
So. Carla. Now Carla's Stevie's age, so she's a teenager. Carla is really, well, when Stevie confronts her at the end of the story, what's going on for Carla? What do we think's going on? When Stevie confronts her with her sense of identity.
What's going on with Carla? Well, Carla's already had a lot of boyfriends. She's doing drugs. She's all caught up in I don't know, some type of behavior that would be stereotypical of a young African American woman in an urban neighborhood just trying to fit in. And Stevie, she had broken up with her boyfriend because they were going to have sexual intercourse, but she didn't want to, and he didn't take it the right way. So Carla, she's just wanting to stay where she's at. She's not wanting to change her behavior, her beliefs, or her consciousness, even though Stevie is telling her that she doesn't want to be like her and all that stuff. So Stevie joined the group. She joined this group where it was like African Americans, and they wore their hair however they wanted, and they were proud to be who they were, and they stood up for like beliefs that they had. So Stevie sort of began to like become more independent and like conscious of her own self. So she confronted Carla about it, telling her that she was basically sick of like the way that Carla kept on pressuring her to do things, and she just became.
Because also that's all true. But Kavina, what else is Stevie really worried about in her last conversation with Carla?
So towards the end of the book, Stevie developed a sort of crush on the nurse at her school, Nurse Loren, and she was kind of worried about, because all the people in her life were telling her that it wasn't a good thing to be homosexual. They call it being funny, and they thought it wasn't a good thing. And her last conversation with Carla, she asked her, like, what would would you feel if I was a homosexual and Carla, she just didn't want anything to do with her, like she told her that she wasn't gonna be friends with anyone who was funny, and Stevie told her that if she couldn't accept her the way she was, then they couldn't be friends anymore, and so that's the relationship.
Yeah, totally. And what I loved about that part was April Sinclair writes that when Stevie says this to Carla, Carla has this fear in her eyes, right? So this fear in her eyes. What does Frary say about fear for someone who's dealing with that sub-oppression?
I believe it's that they're scared because part of them wants to break out of these norms that they're told are
that prescription.
correct.
Where did we take that? The who, what, where, when? Where's our prescription? Yeah.
You know, it's like with Carla, she's so used to, having sex with boys, and, boys are the right way to go, basically, and so she's scared to have something different come along, and what Frary says is the person who is being oppressed has gotten so used to being in that oppression that they're scared to break out of it and find out what's on the other side. So they stay involved in the oppression because it's safer for them. They don't have to, be fearful of what they'll actually be coming against.
Because what's Stevie's journey going to be like? Why would Stevie be scared of her? Why does Stevie's journey take so much courage?
Because it's like walking blindly.
Oh.
You can't see, then you're kind of scared of going, but she did it anyway. And Carla was like, not doing that.
Mental liberation. Stevie walking blindly into the future.
So she liberated herself from her first Carla's prescription.
Cool. So what does that mean for you guys? What is that journey of Stevie? So like she's struggling with prescription, right? She has people in her life who are telling her certain ways to live. She's trying to find a path that's true to her emerging identity, right? And even at the end of Coffee Will Make You Black, we actually don't know whether she's lesbian, bisexual, how she identifies sexually, right? The idea is that she's going to find that out. So what about this notion of prescription and finding your own path sort of resonates for you all in your own lives?
Well, ideally, taking part from Coffee Will Make You Black, I got a great understanding of how the world around me was functioning and how other people were prescribing how you should or shouldn't act. And after reading the book, I start to do what I think feels right for me and not be unsure whether or not to do it. So if you ever tell me to, oh hey, let's go over there and hang out in that corner and see what people do when they walk by, I would think about it and most likely tell you no.
Also, because with my mom, she's always kind of taught me to be like a very independent person, not have to rely on other people. And so for me to be growing up with this notion of I can do things on my own and I don't need anybody else to help me out type of thing, and then to realize that, wait, so there's sometimes when I'm actually listening to other people instead of being independent, but I thought I was being independent. So it's kind of like you realize that in points of your life where there was a lot of confusion, like should I really be doing this or why am I doing this, you actually gain a better understanding of why you were and why you felt like it was okay or you had to do it.
And that self-questioning, right, is so critical because Frary talks about transforming the consciousness. And like Sintia also said that word submerge, that we kind of lose track. And if we don't constantly question ourselves about, is this true to me? Is this really what I want to do?
It's like, I'm pretty sure, but has everybody or anybody been like dunked inside of a swimming pool? So it's like when you get dunked, most of the time it's because that wasn't your choice. Somebody else did it to you, or it just happened. So you do not have the choice to go under the water, and so you're trying to get out of it.
how is it the Stevie's path dealing with prescription, finding her own path to find her own prescription? How is that relevant in your life?
Well, mine would be in like an academic, I guess, stage. I come from a Hispanic family who hasn't had much of an education, probably like less than elementary school. So my family came over here to have children, obviously, and for them to like be someone in life because they didn't get that opportunity. My role would be to not follow what they did as like